Hello my friends, I now invite you to enjoy this classic Dr. Groovy lesson. Hey folks, it's Scott, the trippy hippie from Mississippi. No, I've been there. Anyway, very easy lesson today, this one. Short and sweet for the people who like them that way. That's what I'm going to do tonight, a bunch of these. And these are just to make your regular chords, not bar chords and all that stuff. You can do this with bar chords, but this is simple open chords to make them just sound better and not sound like every other guy with a guitar, whether you're in a band or not, but just hanging around playing or going out and trying to be a big star. You'll see people, you know, like George Strait or Alan Jackson or something, and the one thing they do is they hold their pick and they never play their guitar. They hold one end of the guitar and they never play it. So this will make you actually worth being plugged in and being heard at least. So anyway, what I'm going to do here are what are called suspended seconds and suspended fourths. Okay, I'm going to demystify all that stuff right off the bat because it sounds way harder than it is. Okay, so let's go down, let's just learn a few things. Okay, so down to my big pink thing. Okay, so the big pink guitar. What suspended means is add. Just means to add a note. And sometimes by adding a note, you can also take away a note and it will still work the same. But generally the word itself means to add something to it. So we're actually just adding some color, like this, to our chords. Okay, if you know your regular basic scale, major scale, like say we're in A, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now what we're going to do is work on the again suspended second, which means 1, 2. So the 2 note, and then the suspended fourth, the 4 note, which is always going to be straight down. And I'll show you an easier way to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now I'm going to actually show you the easier ways to get to it. That's just simply the explanation behind why this works. And you can use these things in every chord that you play. Okay, so it will take, put this way, here is an A chord with okay, just there. Now do an A suspended second. Okay, now so the suspended fourth. Go to D. That was a suspended 4. Now suspended second with it. E. That was E suspended 4. Sus2, that's the pros way of saying thing. They just say sus instead of suspended. Especially when you got a huge tongue like mine, and S's are hard to get out because your tongue keeps hitting the floor. It gives you a lisp. Okay, so here's the E sus4. Now the E sus2. Okay, so as you can see, these are going to work out very well, very easy, and just make chords generally just sound like they came alive and they're moving and they're doing something other than going. You know, it's like, mercy, that gets old. Okay, so even for the most average or horrible guitar player, this is going to make huge leaps and bounds. I won't keep you here long. Again, those are the only two things I'm teaching, are the 2 and the 4 and how to find them on all your chords. So okay, so back to the A. Let's do it with all 3 fingers like this. So you have on the D, G, and B, you have a different finger on all of them. Okay, what you generally have is, here's called the 3. If you have this chord, this one's called the 3. Guitar chords are generally built with the root in the middle, so like the A. Then we put what's the 5th below it, or above, depending on how you want to look at it, up towards the top of the neck. So we got root, and then 5th, and then we put 3rd. That's what's on your B string right now. So it's the highest fretted note. Okay, so if I take that 3, okay, I'm going to call it a 3, and this is going to happen in every single thing you do. Okay, if you actually want to do an A sus 2, okay, what you got to do is take one of 2 things. The way you're supposed to think about it is to go to the root note, the A, and go up 2. So we'd be like playing an A here, but it's stupid. All we're looking for is a B note. That's the note right here on the 4th fret on the G string. So, like I said, we may omit something or whatever. So I noticed this 3, and it's going to be this way on almost all your chords. So take all the shortcuts you can. The easiest way to get a B note, if you look at the guitar, it's like, well, I got a B string, but that finger's on it, so take the finger off. Now play the chord. Beautiful. A suspended 2nd. A sus 2. Put the finger back down for your major A. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to do the A sus 4, or suspended 4. This is the easy one. That same note, the 3rd, again, every chord, every major chord in the world has a 1, a 5, and a 3. Okay, from going 1, 2, 3. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's the way that works. Now, since we did 3, and we pulled it off of there to the 2. So A sus 2. Put it back on, you're just back to A major. To make it A sus 4, we already went 2, back to normal, which is by putting our 3 back down. Now we're actually going to add the 4. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, that's adding a D note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I'm playing A, and this is going to be what makes it so easy, is the 4 is the D, like I just did. 1, 2, 3, 4, D note. Where do I find a D note? Right there. So I'm just going to put it on the same string as on the B string again. Why? Because it's right there, and it's going to be extremely in reach, as will be all of these. So it's only 1 fret higher than your 3rd. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, make it that easy now. So we got 3rd, by putting our pinky there, going to the 4. So there's our sus 4, A sus 4. Back to A, now A sus 2. Back to A sus 4. Back sus2. Back to A. Okay, so you can start now messing with. Okay, if you want to mess around with that particular shape of A, you got the B note right here. Okay, so you can go by going, that's just from the 1 going up 2 frets from your root. Now your third is already here because it's same as before, so now you can add that and you get the sus4. And you can mess around. Okay, so all the other chords, let's just go through them in the next 4 minutes and you'll have them all and you can play with them and do your thing instead of me showing you my thing. I got thrown in jail about 8 times for that. Anyway, D. Same thing here happens where the third, meaning the highest note, here's your root, here's your fifth. Guitar chords are always built this way. Piano, no. But guitar chords, 5, 1, 3. So, our 3 is what we're always going to work around, the third. So here we need an E because it's from D, which is our root note, up 2 frets, which is E. So how do I get an E? I got an E string. What's in the way? Ah, that stupid third again. So play it without that one. And put it back. So D sus2. You can put the E there by taking that away. And put it back on for your D. And now for our fourth, D sus4, we simply again add the pinky 1 fret higher than the third note. Okay, so you got 2, 3, now just 1 more fret, 5. It's our 4, I'm sorry. So here's D sus4, back to D, and D sus2, back to D. And always work with moving around other fingers, just lifting them, see if they sound good or not. Okay, so you got, sounds great when you're lifting that. Try lifting others. That's sus2, back to normal, 4, there, same thing. So there I did sus4, back to normal, then sus6. Okay, so now we did it in there. Let's go to A. We did it in D. Let's do C. Because we're not going to be able to lift up a finger. So let's make it that way. Now, this one here is actually arranged a little bit differently. So let's walk you through it. Okay, what happens is a sus2 has to be 2 frets higher than the root note. So our root note, go to the highest pitched root note you have. It's not going to be that one, it's going to be the C, because we're playing in C. You can still play all the notes, but we need this one to have a D in it, 2 frets higher. That's all it is, 2 frets higher. So we play C, and then then we just put our pinky down where that D is. Okay, so there's C, C suspended second or sus2. Okay, now what is next is the C suspended 4. Now this here is very weird. C is the hardest, one of the hardest chords to come up with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, because I'm going major scale here. So that's an F. So I'm playing my C chord. What do I need? I need an F. I've got an open C. I've got a C, but I've got an open E. If I flat it down one, or I'm sorry, push it down one, so go one higher, that'll give me my F. Okay, so I can play C, then add that to it, an F, so you kind of make it that way. So C, major, C sus2, then C sus4. Okay, so that's the way that one works. So this could actually work out all kinds of different ways. You could actually go to the low end of it, here where this C is. If you want to do is add an F here by using the initial F we found. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's your 4. Okay, so it's all up to you. You got an F here, you got an F here. Work with it. Work with the different notes that you can reach. Don't just stop with one and say, okay, I found that F. There are plenty of Fs on here, so find them all. Okay, we did D. Let's go for E. We'll do a couple more and I'll get out of here. Here's E. Okay, we need to go two higher than E. I'm sorry, two lower than E to get to the sus. So suspended second means add a 2. So what do? I'm in E. I got to go up 2 frets from E. So that note. Okay, so that's the E. So that's an F sharp. If I look at the E, there is no F sharp there except for the one I actually played. So that's the one we use. We use the E and sus2. We add a 2. So this one gets you kind of weird. And now our third is here. We got our fifth and our root. Then our third. So to get a sus4, we have to add that note, the A, which means we can just put our pinky down right where that A is, so the second fret of the G string. So we're at. So there's 4, back to major, and 2. Okay. Now, as you can actually reach other ones, but that's how you do that again, from the 3 to 4. Okay, with that in mind, here's something that generally will sound really cool, is if you take, like on an E chord like this, and move a couple strings down together that are actually where your fingers are touching each other. That's right, these low strings. It sounds pretty cool, especially if you're strumming a big old thing. Is to take any 2 fingers that look like they're basically glued together and move them down 1 string. That's a way of making a suspended 4. Okay, so with the F, we go to the F note and up 2 for a suspended second. So we're on F. Our highest F has to be up 2 is a G. I'm gonna put my pinky on the G. And here's our third in the middle. Okay, so just move it up 1 from the 2nd fret up to the 4, which is your 3rd fret, suspended 4, and back. So F. And don't think it won't sound good in other places, because you can play that pinky everywhere. Just work with it. Okay, so when you are, I'll do this last thing, and we'll get out of it. In G, when I was talking about taking things and moving them around, G is a good one, and bring it down like this. Just like keep your fingers glued and move them. Both of them. So it's like G sus 4, but it's with these low chords or low fingers. Sounds really good. As does C. Okay, so try those. So there you go, suspended 2nd, suspended 4th, and just goofy stuff to make your beginner stuff better. Okay, this hippie is gonna go find something to, like, find some munchies. Later.